See today that China, which is now hosting a UNESCO conference, this is a conference that is considering the idea of declaring the Great Barrier Reef to be endangered. Now, you and I both know what the real reality of that is, but it seems to be a way that China is going to try to find another way to black mark Australia. The Environment Minister joins us now from Canberra, as you can see. Minister, thanks for joining us. Put simply, do you believe that the Great Barrier Reef is endangered? If not, why not?
No, it's not. We're deeply passionate, committed and absolutely working flat out to protect our reef, and we're deeply disappointed in the clear politicisation of the UNESCO process. And it's obscure, it's opaque, it's not fair, it's not following process, and because of that, Paul, it's getting to the wrong outcome. So no heads up. Well, actually there was a heads up that everything would be fine and we would not be listed in danger at the upcoming meeting. Last night, a draft decision came down, absolutely jumping 10 steps from the beginning, where the conversation is beginning, to over here, where a decision is made to actually recommend the in danger listing at the meeting in July. So this is completely unexpected. We're stunned and we're fighting back because the reef, the Great Barrier Reef, is the best managed reef in the world. I stand up in every forum and say that, and I've not been proved wrong yet.
Do you believe that this process is being weaponised by some of the members of that UN committee to try to put a black eye on Australia's environmental record?
We haven't gone to the committee yet. We're at the technical advisory body stage. So, of course, we do have a chance to prosecute our case when the committee meets, and I will certainly be doing that with all of the 21 countries that are part of the World Heritage Committee. But international politics is clearly at play. Otherwise, we would not have had the process subverted in the way that it has been, where without even foreshadowing, which is the normal course of events. I mean, this is diplomatic and international and full of process, and, you know, you can just imagine the organisational chart and the flows of information, but it's a rules-based system and everybody does understand the rules, and the rules in this case have not been followed. Now, Paul, there's about 80 properties on the World Heritage books that they reckon have high or very high risk because of climate change. So if all of those had come on this recommended list as a job lot, I would sort of understand that it's a broad political message about climate change. But in fact, they've just singled out one property, the Great Barrier Reef.
The Agriculture Minister and Deputy's Nationals leader spoke to Kieran Gilbert this afternoon. Here's his view of the process being played out in China right now.
And here we have an international organisation tucked away in New York, making assessments on us over here in Queensland without any science, without actually doing proper due diligence, is just ridiculous. And I think it actually belittles the organisation that it's actually there to represent, and we would encourage them to actually revisit that and try and have a good hard look at the facts and the science, rather than doing it from the desk of the UN.
Now also, Minister, just one other thing quickly before I let you go here, which is there was a court decision that came out of New South Wales that suggested politicians like yourself, ministers like yourself, have a responsibility and a duty of care when it comes to protecting the Australian environment from, among other things, climate change. How binding is that, and what is your response to it?
Well, I don't agree with the decision. The legal action hasn't actually concluded, and the judge has asked both parties to put submissions in. So we're going through the details of the decision to date, and we will make submissions. And unsurprisingly, I don't agree with the decision, and I'll be looking carefully at what my opportunities are to take the next step. But as I said, Paul, it is currently still within the courts, and there is still a legal process being followed. Happily, the injunction to actually prevent the project going forward was not granted, but we are still at a stage where the judge is seeking submissions. So we'll follow that process and we'll see where it leads.